Wolfman comes out this month, so that reminded me of a failed universe. I'm talking about the failed Monsters universe that Universal had planned back in 2014 to 2017. Let's rewind about a decade. Marvel had established their shared universe, so many studios were trying to launch their own shared universe about their IPs in order to reap the box office successes. Universal was no different, for they own a massive amount of monsters such as Frankenstein, Dracula, Wolfman, Invisible Man, just to name a few, and they saw this shared universe concept set in modern times to be the next Marvel. Now, back in the 1940s all the way to the 1950s, this shared universe concept was attempted and for the most part was very successful. However, by the 1960s, Universal saw that the monsters worked much better for merchandise and Halloween items, so the movies took a back seat. But let's go back by going forward to the 2010s. If you like what you're watching and anything movie related, leave a like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell for all your movie needs. Late 2013, Universal hired Transformers and Star Trek screenwriters Roberto Orci and Alex Kurtzman to be the Kevin Feiges of this universe and to relaunch it, but Orci left about 6 months later and was replaced by Chris Morgan of Fast and Furious fame. Kurtzman and Morgan were tasked with creating an outline of the movies and develop this shared universe. But wait, there was already a monster movie that was being released the year of 2014, and that was Dracula Untold. Actually not a bad movie in my opinion, so if y'all haven't watched it, y'all should. This movie went through a series of reshoots to add more modern day scenes, so it could possibly be the start, or the Iron Man, if you will, of this universe. The movie came out, gained mixed reviews, and it made a profit. However, Universal was hoping for more, so they decided to forget about Dracula Untold and continue with their brand new outline made by Kurtzman and Morgan. Those projects were announced in 2014 with films such as Frankenstein with Javier Bardem, Bride of Frankenstein with Angelina Jolie, and The Invisible Man with Johnny Depp, all being greenlit and put into development along with the already announced The Mummy reboot. By the end of 2014, Kurtzman was tasked to direct The Mummy after it had gone through many different rewrites and directors, so Kurtzman was chosen to direct the first film, and in 2015, Tom Cruise was cast as the lead in the film. Principal photography began the following year, and various interviews described the set as one of the worst filming experiences known to Hollywood, where Tom Cruise took over and tried to make this a Mission Impossible horror movie instead of what Kurtzman wanted, which was a horror movie but with action-adventure elements. With The Mummy finished and set to be released in 2017, Universal officially titled the shared universe as the Dark Universe with a logo and a Danny Elfman-created theme music as their universe was set and ready to go. But then The Mummy was released. The Mummy was hit with terrible reviews and awful box office returns. It was an absolute mess, with a major complaint was the fact that it was used to set up future movies in this universe, with another huge complaint that it was just another Tom Cruise style of movie. After this disaster, Universal did the unthinkable and postponed all films that were previously announced to rethink their classic Monsters IP, but by January, the studio decided to abandon the shared universe concept and have these monster movies be solo, with each director create their own story, with Kurtzman and Morgan leaving. There's a long but short history of the Dark Universe, so now, what went wrong? This is purely my opinion, but what went wrong first of all was the choosing of the architects of this shared universe, and Alex Kurtzman, Roberto Orci, and Chris Morgan. These three were not known for making high quality films, so to have these three as the heads of a shared universe, it felt to me that this universe was doomed from the start. Their big miss was the fact that all the movies that were announced and greenlit were greenlit before the movie was even released. And the fact that The Mummy had such a troubled production, Universal jumped the gun way too fast in order to get their shared universe off the ground. But let's be real. The main reason why this universe failed was the fact that nobody wants a classic monster shared universe, because the monsters being solo works so much better, especially with these characters being set in modern times. It also helps with Jason Blum and his company Blumhouse producing these projects going forward, for Blum allows each director and creator creative freedom with little interference in order to make the best and scariest monster movie possible. I can't wait for Wolfman, for Leigh Whannell is directing after his brilliant movie The Invisible Man, so I believe that it's safe to say that Universal should be very happy that their shared universe failed, for the movies will be much better and scarier for audiences. There's my take on what went wrong. Let me know your opinion of the Dark Universe, and see you at the movies.